Alright, this is chapter 6, lesson 3, and we're going to be fixing up this old photo that looks like this. So it's the PS0605 folder, file I mean, and then you're going to save as, and I want to change it up a little bit. I want you to do underscore, and then I want you to use your first name, or first and last name. But when I'm getting these off of Schoology, it's just way easier if it's got your name, because otherwise they're all named the same and it's confusing. So save that wherever it is that you save stuff. So we're going to be using the clone stamp here first, which is this guy. It's not a hidden tool, it's just the one on top. And it looks like a little rubber stamp. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, hold down the space bar and drag that around so I can see her face. I'm going to be working in this upper corner here first. So the way the clone stamp tool works is I'm going to hold down Alt and it turns into a target. And I'm going to select her nose. And then when I come over here and start, and then I'm using my mouse and I'm clicking and I'm kind of painting. And so it's taking what's over here and putting it here. You saw as I was doing that there's a little crosshair that comes up, and that's how I know what I'm cloning. You could also lower the opacity of that, and that might also be useful. Well, you can't really see that very well, but it might be useful for blending things a bit better. So just show you how that works there. So now I'm going to use that up here in this corner. And so what I want to do first is I'm going to use the rectangular marquee to make a selection. You could use the lasso or anything else, but I just want to make sure that my border doesn't get messed with. So go back to the clone stamp, hold down Alt, quickly click with my mouse, and then release the Alt, release the mouse, and then sort of paint. You can click and drag. Oh, let me change my opacity back up to 100. And so see how it doesn't go into the border? Because I have that selection. That's what I want. And so at this point, I'm going to make a new selection. So Alt, click here, make a new selection. Doesn't have to be very good because it doesn't really look like much anyway. Maybe up here, that did not look good, so try that again. Okay, good enough. We're going to be fixing up that corner a little bit later, so Control D to deselect, and that's the clone stamp. So do a quick save, and then we're going to do this line down here. And on this one, we'll be using, let me find where I am, the spot healing brush. And the spot healing brush is this guy. Looks like a band-aid. The healing brush also looks like a band-aid, so just make sure you have the spot healing brush selected. And that's what we used for the power line on one of those Be Creatives. So this one is, it's blending it more with what's around it than the clone stamp. So you don't have to hold down Alt for this one. It's just going to pick up the pixels around it. So there's no specific size that I want you to use. You'll just kind of have to figure it out. But again, I want to use the rectangular marquee in this corner here, so I don't do anything to the border. And this edge as well. Okay, deselect. And this really wouldn't be my first choice to use to do this part down here. It's just not super effective, as you can see. But I am just following along with the book, and it's going to get the job done. It's not going to look great. Probably wouldn't get a job getting paid to do this if I did it this way, but that's okay. I don't need a job. So that's that. So that was the spot healing brush. Again, probably not my first choice, but it definitely is less noticeable. Okay, so now we're going to use the healing brush. The healing brush is under the spot healing brush. The spot healing brush is the newest one to come out in Photoshop, but the healing brush is just a classic one that everyone needs to know because you'll use it all the time. So it's similar to the clone stamp where you hold down Alt, make a target, and then it's blending instead of the clone stamp where it just replaced. Make a new target. It's blending in your new selection with, it's blending your source with what's currently there. So, really helpful to learn this tool. Again, I probably wouldn't use that on this area, but why not? Alright, so then I just want you to go through and clean up some of the little splotches all over the place. And I want you to do a better job than I'm doing, but I'm going to go up to the top and show you one more tool. And that's the patch tool. The patch tool is this guy. And you will be making a selection. So source is selected right now. So that means that I am picking a place that I want to replace. So I want to replace this part with whatever it is that I select. So like that. And so it replaced it. So I want to replace this part. So you're picking the bad part, clicking and dragging, and finding a new part that that's covering it up. So it kind of, no, that was bad. Kind of works like the lasso tool as far as how you're doing it with the mouse. All right, so clean up this part, maybe. There we go. Control D to deselect. And you can fix up that area if you want to. We're going to be addressing some of this part next. So we're going to use the clone stamp again, and we're going to open the clone source panel. And let's see. We'll just do this. So we want to have show overlay on. This will be set to 0. I already did it once and it's saved my selection, which I don't want. So, alright. So we're going to switch back to the clone stamp. So you can save up to 5 different sources. And this could really come in handy if you're going to do a lot of editing. So anyway, you're going to select the first guy here, and we're going to hold down Alt. Actually, before we do that, set your brush to 80. There we go. 80, just make sure your mode is normal. Opacity should be 100. we're good to go. So you're going to hold down Alt and you're going to select the corner up here. And then we are going to come down and switch our rotation to 90, because what we're going to do is we're going to replace this corner with that corner, and I had to flip it, otherwise it was the wrong orientation. So you're just going to try and line that up. Line up the edge of the white so that the top and right edge looks kind of normal. Alright, so we've got that. And then we are gonna let's see. Just lost my place. Okay, so now you need to open the next document, which is PS 0606, and it's just this pattern. We go back over here. No, actually we don't need to, because it's still open, this panel. So we're going to click on the second clone source, and then we're just going to hold down Alt and select this region over here. And then the third one is going to be the top right side. So I just Alt clicked, so you can see it when it turns into a target. That's when I'm holding down Alt, click, release, and so that's my third one there. Let's see if I uncheck clipped. Oh, that's weird. I just kind of wondered what that did. So it just shows me a little preview when I have clipped on. If I uncheck it, it shows me the whole big thing. So we're going to go back to this guy. And we want it to look kind of antique. If we just place that in there, that looks crazy. So we're not going to do that. We're going to select our mode here. We're going to select luminosity, the last one. And in the opacity, you can just hit the, no we can't, because we're not a tool that does that. So it should be 50% for the opacity. And then we're going to select the second guy, the one that's the top left. And just sort of something like that is what we're going for. That's about it. And then you're going to switch over to the third one, just the right side, and you're going to put that in there. That does not look very good. If this was something I was going to turn in, I would undo that and redo it over a little bit. So this is what I would do. So you can move this guy around a little bit. Or not. Well, it's fine. I would probably change my selection, my source, but it works for what you need to know. And that is it. Compare it to what they have, and yeah, looks great. Go ahead and submit that one to Schoology and you're done with Chapter 6.